And my losing my mom so early
Mm.
drove this home for me so thoroughly.
Mm.
She was my soulmate. She was my friend. She was not just my mom. She was my role model. And I lost her just like that. Within less than 5 minutes, she was gone. She was here now, and it was in her youth. She was still young. She was 49 years old.
Mm.
All of a sudden, my backbone was gone. My reference was gone.
Mm.
Point with my girls, even when they were very little,
Mm.
to give them the key to deal with things on their own and meet things on their own.
How old were you when you lost your mother? It sounds like you had a beautiful relationship with her.
I was 21 years old.
Mm.
I was in my second year pharmacy school. We were at midterm.
Mm.
It was a Sunday. It was February. And I was waiting for her to bring me. She would prepare breakfast. She would take care of my dad, and then she would prepare breakfast for her and I, and we would eat breakfast together. And
Mm.
I'm studying for my exams,
Mm.
and she didn't come. So I was starting to be angry and wanted to yell at her, Mom, where are you? Where's my breakfast? And then I heard the noise in the house and turned out that she had died.
Sorry, Madeleine.
So now I'm here, now I'm gone.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
But
You
alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, it made me focused, made me really, really focused.
you were the only daughter, so you must have had more of the, woman to one mother-daughter bond must have meant more because you were the only daughter.
She meant the world to me. She really meant, she did.
So, with your mother, is there any specific quality of hers that you find that it's found its way in you, that you seem to relate to her and say, this about me is like my mother?
You know something? I am sad because I don't think I'm like her at all. She was calm. She was soft.
Mm.
Was low key.
Mm.
She took things in a, well, she was very intelligent.
Mm.
She would solve things so quickly and so easily without any effortlessly.
Mm.
I'm much more intense. I get excited, my voice gets loud, and I look at me, look at these hands all over the place. My mom was not like that.
Mm.
That's what I wish I had her calmness and her softness and her gentleness. She was fragile. She was so gentle. I wish I was like that. Now I am around my brothers for the longest time. We were in one country and my brothers were in another country, but now I am around my brothers
Mhm.
and we talk, and I have realized that how much she meant to them.
Mm.
She meant
Mm.
the world to them, and they all, you know, I used to think that I was brokenhearted to have lost her.
Mm.
They were and still are
Mm.
brokenhearted to have lost her.
Yeah. May Allah grant her the highest maqam in Jannah. Inshallah. Ameen.
We're all on that road. My brother says all of us are on a conveyor belt. It's coming for me and my brothers. We're getting close. Our turn is getting close.
May Allah give you a long life, Dr. Hind.
Wallahi, Saihba, wallahi, Saihba. We cannot thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his blessings. And we always say, Ya marhaban bi liqa'illah. It is welcome when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am saying this especially, Sahba, because many of us are losing loved ones for
Mm.
good.
Mm.
And many of us are brokenhearted at what we are witnessing. But I just want them to know that it seems to us that this is the end, when in fact this is the beginning. They are being released from this temporary life and this temporary cage. And I don't want them to be afraid. I don't want them to be afraid. I want them to know what I learned. Our loved ones remain with us all our lives. I lost mom in 1972. We are 2021, and I still shed tears. She has never left me. I always talk about her, but it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's a feeling of thankfulness. It's a feeling of appreciation. It's a feeling that, thank God, I got to meet her. This is how life is, and we're all well.
What about your father in the same spirit? What about, what attributes of his do you think you have inherited or learned?
I don't know that I have inherited it. I pray that I have inherited it. One thing about my dad, he was truly beloved Saihba.
Hmm.
He had so many friends.
Hmm.
They really, really loved him. And he always used to tell us, I don't have anything for you to inherit from me. I don't have any money. I don't have any wealth. But I have for you to inherit from me the good reputation.
Sure.
Nobody can come and say that I cheated or I lied or I reneged on my responsibility. So Alhamdulillah, and I left you your knowledge, your education. He pushed us so much to be educated,
Hmm.
you know. So that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for that. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to bore you with all these stories about.
No, it's not. It's not boring at all. This is beautiful. I wish I want to ask the right questions so I hear more of these stories. What is the earliest? Like, what's your first? And I think the counselors watching this would know I have my counselor cap on right now. But what's your first recollection as a child? Whether it's happy or sad, what's the first profound memory that you have of something? It can be a happy memory, it can be a sad memory. Just what's your first recollection? Meaningful recollection.
When I was uh, uh, when I was young, when I was, you know, for a while I was with my parents in Kuwait, and my brothers were in Lebanon with my aunt. Don't remember much about the time we were in Kuwait. I think I was less than 5 years old. But when I came back and they left me in Beirut and mom and dad left. Um, Mom had a small pillow
Hmm.
from ostrich feathers. It was so soft and
Hmm.
it was her smell.
Hmm.
And when the first time that she was going back to Kuwait after bringing me to Beirut, when I went to my bed, she had left the pillow for me. That was her pillow, but she left that pillow for me on my bed. That meant the world to me. You know, I brought it with me when I got married. I got married in 1975. Talking about when I was 5 years old. It stayed with me and I brought it here with me to the States. And if I look at my items, the sheet has deteriorated, but I probably still have the feathers, ostrich feathers. My mom, when you lose somebody, you
Hmm.
don't want to let your memories go away.
Hmm.
That's one thing. The other thing that I remember, and it meant the world for me,
Hmm.
I used to be studying and I would study very, very hard. My aunt's job was to wake me up. I would come from school, take a nap, and then wake up and study.
Hmm.
And in the morning, she would wake me up. She would bring me a small rectangular tray with 2 teacups in it. One of it has coffee, Arabic coffee, and the other one has hot chocolate. And she would bring me the small biscuits. And this is something that no matter what, I had it. When I woke up, when I first opened my eyes, it came there for me. And that's my aunt. In Ramadan, she would wake me up for suhoor, make sure I would eat. When I had exams, when I grew up, when I was in high school and I had exams or college and all of that, she would stay awake. I would come home around 5:30, go to sleep till around 9:30 or 10. She would stay awake until she makes sure that I have my coffee, I'm sitting up, I'm ready to study, and then she would go to sleep. I love my aunt a lot. I loved her. I was very appreciative. I was like her daughter. She meant the world to me. Amrullahi nafiz. And God's will be done.
So,
God's will be done irrespective. So deal with it the best way you can. Don't deal with it with anger and resentment and Allah, astaghfirullah al-azim. Some people start cursing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing it in the end for your best interest.
So how would you, when you say deal with it with patience, what does it actually mean? What does it actually translate to? What does patience mean giving up and giving in to your situation? Is it passive? It's active? Just a little bit of.
Never, ever, ever give up. Never, if you feel you are right. If you feel you are being dealt with unjustly, with injustice, with lack of fairness. I always say, Saihba, the most important thing is in life is that we have a clear conscience that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understands us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's in our hearts. I'm gonna bring it to the situation between husband and wife, because we dealt with a lot at Texas Muslim Foundation. I never ever want a woman who's being abused, who's being humiliated, who's being physically, emotionally, economically, religiously, socially, being abused or manipulated or taken advantage of. I never want her to give up. I never want her to be patient. I don't want her to jump at the first incidence of what she might think abuse and say, you are an abusive person. You are an abusive man. Abuse is a pattern. It's a pattern of control. All of us, we fight with our husbands. All of us, we disagree with our husbands. All of us, we get into shouting matches. All of us, sometimes in our life, ask for divorce. We want to go back to our home. Why are you dealing with me like this? This is not my parents. This is not how my parents dealt with me. So when you have really and truly realized that whatever might have been your fault, your shortcoming with that person, and it can be your husband, it can be your peer, it can be your parent, it can be your in-law, whatever. Whenever you feel I have done everything in my power to correct the situation, and I'm still, the cycle of abuse, getting into the same thing over again, you really need to get out. This is what our faith teaches us. Our faith teaches us that we have to be patient in the face of adversity. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored us over all of his creation. honored all of us, men and women, not just men, honored us women. We are God, part of Bani Adam. We are the children of Adam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored us with strength, with brain, with ability to think, with ability to learn. No one has the right to take that away from us. This is the principle for dealing with any situation, Saihba. No matter how difficult it is, analyze that situation. See what can be done to get yourself out from it. Correct it. But then seek other means. Also, very, very important, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because prayer, really, really, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is close and He hears us and He answers our prayers and He knows what's in our hearts. Never ever never ever accept zulm. Never ever accept zulm. Not for you, zulm is oppression, is injustice, unfairness. Zulm is whether it is directed to you or to any other human being. Never accept. And we have the verses in the Quran that tells us we have to be witnesses for justice, even against our own parents. Even if my father or my mother were abusers or were unjust or doing something wrong, we have to witness and we have to say this is wrong. This is what I meant. Never, ever, ever.
The reason I mentioned that is a lot of times, I don't know, culturally or traditionally, women or anyone being asked to have patience is misinterpreted as being passive and allowing yourself to be oppressed. And I know in conversations with you or in my understanding, the patience part comes in that you do what you need to do to stand up for yourself and then be patient with the outcome of that. Maybe then it might take patience to stand up to something and then the consequences of that. So it's not necessarily a passive state where you allow people to oppress you.
It's never, our faith is never about passive states. Our faith is always about proactive and active states. Our faith is all about action, Saihba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always tells us to act, actions. But what are those actions? That's what's important. And one of the things to be patient with, Saihba, is, and if you have any young people listening to you, if you have any teenagers or any college students, one of that aspect of patience is accept the wisdom of the elders. Accept the experience that is being shared with you. That's part of the patience. That will allow you, that will help you. That's part of the patience. Don't be in a hurry to do something on your own that might get you into trouble. Now, here, the policy is everyone needs to learn from their own mistakes. It's not my place to tell you what to do. It's not my place to share my wisdom with you. In fact, I should not. I should let you learn from your mistakes. That doesn't make sense for me.
That's such a waste of so much suffering that people have been through and learn from it and be like, you get your own suffering and learn from it.
Or I enjoy seeing you suffer. So get your own suffering. I suffered in the past, so you have to suffer too. Yeah. That's not what our beneficent, merciful, Rahman al-Rahim. His title is Ar-Rahman al-Rahim. Ar-Rahman al-Rahim. يوم نحشر الذين آمنوا إلى الرحمن وفدا. I've been hearing this verse in the Quran all the time. Out of 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the the word he uses about describing the day of judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathers all of us to him, the word he describes himself is Ar-Rahman. This is the beauty. This is the beauty.
I also had a reflection on what you said, Dr. Hind, about children understanding that even what they achieve is also from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think there is a mercy in that also, because if we as human beings, if we raise our children to believe that you get what you deserve, or you get what you've earned, or you work for it so you have it. Now the counter of that is that if things go wrong, if something goes wrong, and the whole philosophy and mindset is I'm responsible for everything good that happens to me, and I'm responsible for everything bad that happens to me, there is so much, it's so devastating to have failed so miserably. And so I think it's a nice cushion to be like, there is only so much that I contribute to this, and the rest is from Allah's mercy. And there is only so much that I contributed to the negative of it as well, and the rest is, I think there is a lot of, it's a blessing to be able to think like that. Otherwise, we'll be so devastated by all the mistakes we made.
الخيرة فيما اختاره الله. الخيرة, best situation فيما اختاره الله, is in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen. You might want, let's say you might want to live in Switzerland, and you don't have that ability. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for you to live in Texas.
Switzerland and Texas.
فيما اختاره الله. Sure. Allah's decision for you to be in Texas is what's actually the best thing for you, not what you were wishing. There is also, I told you, I always mention him, and I read a story about him. Next time I will tell you. I need to research to see if it is correct story or not about him. النابلسي, راتب النابلسي, Imam Sheikh Ratib al-Nabulsi. He's a Syrian scholar. He's a very well-respected Syrian scholar and beautiful human being. He had a topic said, ما أخذ منك إلا ليعطيك. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not taken anything away from you except to give you something back. You are focusing on what you don't have. I am not married. I don't have children. I don't have wealth. I am not living close to my parents. I am far away in this desert. I am far away in this jungle. He has decided something. He has taken something away from you. He has something to give you. You don't know what that thing might be right now. You probably will discover it when it happens. Or you will discover the wisdom for it when it happens. And this is it. When my mom, we go back to my mom. When my mom died, the whole world collapsed on me. I lost hope. I was desperate. But look what it gave me. It gave me the ability to be thankful for every moment that we are living, for having our loved ones every second of the time we have them, for what is important. Should we have been living in a fancy house? Should we have had fancy clothes? We didn't have fancy clothes. We had the same pair of clothes for summer and the same pair for winter, and we couldn't buy anything we want, all of those things. But it taught me those are not important. I would have given my right arm to have any of that, but to have her back with me. So this is life. Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one time I made a presentation about the Quran, and I wanted to give them a definition, and I looked for a definition of the Quran. You cannot imagine. Next time I'll bring it for you. The Quran is a dhikr, the reminder. The Quran is shifa, for illness. Yeah. I need to get all of those to you. I was amazed at all those definitions of what the Quran is. It is dhikr, it is remembrance, it is shifa, it is اطمئنان ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب, it's sakina, it is peace, it is everything that is beautiful and right and correct. It's your compass.
MashaAllah, that's true. Well, inshallah. So next time you have quite a few things that you've promised to share with me next time. And inshallah, I'll bring new questions based on what we've talked about too. I'll reflect back on that. But thank you so much. And your beach looks so attractive, Dr. Hind.
Let's see if we will keep it next time or choose
Choose something different.
different.